welcome to my channel. I am the Bloody Baroness, and this is Eerie Echoes. Please, someone help us. We don't know what to do. It's getting so bad in the 20 years, this by far the worst. Both my parents grew up in haunted houses, and of course my siblings and I have all grown up in a haunted house as well. At first my parents thought my brother had just an imaginary friend. His name was Joe, and he lived in the closet. My brother woke up screaming in the middle of the night. I was a baby, so I don't remember, but I've seen pictures. My parents ran in there. They had bunk beds, and my other brother was on the bottom. My parents said he was so pale he wouldn't say a word. Things calmed down for a really long time until I was about 10. I had one of my friends staying over, and we were staying up really late playing games and doing what little girls do. We started to hear scratching coming from outside my door. I had a cat, so I thought it was her. I went to open it for her, but no one was there, so we shrugged it off. It started again, and the doorknob started to jiggle, and it slowly opened, and there was a dark figure standing there. Looked like it was out of breath. Its shoulders were going up and down. Then it lunged at us and we screamed. My parents came running. Nothing or nobody was in the house. She never stayed again and stopped being my friend shortly after. 9 years later, just little things were happening. Nothing too scary. My boyfriend, now husband, went off to basic, and I still lived with my parents. I was only 19. I had my dog Zeus. Zeus was sleeping on my bed with me. He is a yellow lab. It was about 6:30 in the morning, and I had to be up at 8:30 for work. He woke me by growling. Then I heard a weird voice in my ear speaking a language I didn't understand. When I started to open my eyes, it started growling in my ear. I opened my eyes fast, and my door slammed shut. My dog was standing over me with his hair standing up, looking like he was about to attack something. Everyone was at work. I heard banging around coming from my parents' room. I got Zeus off of me. I jumped out of bed and ran to my parents' room. Cabinets were opening and closing fast. Things were getting thrown everywhere around the room, and it wouldn't stop. I went to run out, and the door slammed shut. My dog, now running around the house barking and growling, started running into the door. I said fuck it, and ran out of there. Grabbed my work clothes, grabbed my dog, and got the hell out. I dropped my dog off at my friend's and went to work early. When I got home, my parents' room was destroyed. My mother was crying and my dad was pissed. I told them everything. We decided not to talk about it again and went on with the rest of our day. My brother still lived with my parents as well. That night my door kept opening and closing, and I kept hearing running in the hallway, so I thought it was him. I slipped on my slippers and stomped to his room. I was going to yell at him to knock off his stupid shit, but when I opened the door, he was snoring. I woke him up and made him promise that it wasn't him. He told me to leave his door open to see if he sees anything. I'm halfway down the hallway. My brother yells at me to run to my room and not look back. But of course I turn around instead. As I turn around, I see a large black figure standing in his doorway staring at me. It had large red eyes, just staring. I froze and started to whimper. My brother, being the protective big brother, came charging and telling the thing to leave and leave me alone when he got it to disappear. My brother ran to me and led me to my room and slept on the floor that night to stay with me. I didn't sleep. Now a year later, I'm 20. My husband is away for the army at the moment, and we are waiting for our plumbing to be done at our new house. Last night, we had a bad rainstorm. I woke up to growling again, but I couldn't move. Out of the corner of my eye, there was a figure with red eyes again, just staring at me. Thunder started, and it opened its mouth so wide, it could have fit my whole head in its mouth. It had huge, sharp teeth and a long, skinny tongue. It started to scream. My ears started to ring. I wanted to cover them, but I couldn't. My dog, half growling and whining, starts to bark. My parents came running in, covering their ears, but stopped mid-run when they saw the thing. My dad came running into me anyway and picked me up and carried me to his room with my dog following. Zeus had his back to us so he could face the thing, and he never took his eyes off the figure until it was out of sight. Finally, I was able to move and started crying and shaking uncontrollably. My brother lives here as well with his girlfriend. We heard her scream, then she started banging on the door. My dad opened it and she came running in, crying and shaking. We started to ask her where Mike is. Before she could answer, he came out of the room on his hands and feet with black eyes, just staring at us. We all froze. None of us knew what to do. My brother then popped his neck and started running for us. My dad slammed the door shut and locked it. My brother started to run against it. My mum is screaming for it to get the hell out of her house and just kept repeating this while throwing things and stomping, then it goes quiet. My dad opened the door and my brother was passed out in front of the door with his nose bleeding. When my brother woke up, we told him everything. He didn't remember a thing. He remembers hearing screaming, and then it all went black. He tells us all sorry, and then he stays quiet for the rest of the night. Nobody slept last night. We all called in and tried to figure something out. Now it is the next night, and it's 11 at night, and we are hearing growling and scratching through the whole house. We can't do this again. Please help.